In terms of grades and grading, here we are on the syllabus, and this is from a previous semester. So you will want to ignore the actual numbers of points and focus on the structure. So if you scroll down to page 8 of the syllabus, you'll have a breakdown of what constitutes an A+ through an F. How many points do you need to get a certain grade? Because in this course, you will be building your grade. Okay, you get to decide how many of the projects you do. You get to decide how you will get to the number of points. So let's say you wanted an A+. In that semester, as your semester might be different in terms of point totals, but in the semester for these students, they had to get 1,067 points or above, and that got them the A+. So how do you get to that level? How do you get those points? How do you build that? Let's go to a breakdown of that slide, or of a slide that explains it. So you get some points for attendance. You get quite a few points for attendance. If you show up to class and on time, never leave early, you're present, and you contribute, you get 450 points for the class. If you miss a class, you lose 100 points. If you miss 2 courses, 2 class periods, you lose another 100 points. If you have 3 absences, you lose 300 total points. You also, on the other side, if you don't miss any classes and you're always on time and you never leave early, you get a bonus 50 points in attendance. So, how do you build your grade? It's 3 different things. You have attendance points, you have in-class projects, things that we do every week, or that we do as a group, or you do individually, but as part of class. And then you have student-selected projects. And again, these individual totals here, and the totals in terms of how many points to get a particular grade, don't look at those specifically, but at the idea of this, that there are attendance points, and there are class-related projects, and then there are asynchronous projects. And those asynchronous projects, you get to pick. So there's 20 or so different projects, and you pick the ones that fit with you, with the ones you're most interested in, the ones that you feel align the best with what you want to learn and what you want to get out of this course. So you submit something. Let's go to the project page for a second. This is the course schedule. Here we go, course activities. So you see the attendance points, and then you have integrated projects. You do a slide. So we do 1 reading every week, and you create a slide about that reading, and you get 10 points for submitting that slide. And I might give you 0 points if I need you to do more thinking. Let's say you just threw a meme on the slide and that's it. That's not going to be enough, unless it's the best meme ever. And so you'll have to redo it. But you build points, and then if you get to a certain number of slides, you get some bonus points for doing all of them. Same is true for LinkedIn posts. You do a certain number of articles, you write a certain number of articles, and then if you get to the total number of articles required, you get bonus points. You could skip the LinkedIn posts if you wanted to and do other projects. That's totally fine, but you'll also miss out on the bonus points. Okay, there's an annotated standards project you do as a group, and a guided learning experience or parent consult if you're an SLP. You do that twice, you get 50 points each time. That's part of class. Okay, and then there are student-selected projects. And again, don't worry about the due date on these or the point totals. There are just quite a few, and I'll have a video that explains each one. So there's a maker project, discussion leader. So you can see there's a whole bunch of projects that you could pick from. And so you get to build how many of these you're going to do, in what order. And from those projects, you are building your grade. So again, all three of these. So you have your attendance. Hopefully you show up every time. You're never late. You never leave early. And you participate in class fully. So then you just get to pick which student projects you are going to do individually to get your grade up to the level. So if you want a C+, your goal is 855 points. If you attend every class, and you participate in the things that are in class, you're pretty close to that already. Now, I'm not going to suggest you just say, yeah, C+ is my goal. So that's how grades work. You get to pick your student-selected projects. They add points towards your total, which helps you figure out your final grade for the course. I've had students in the past who, after the first, 2 weeks before class ended, they had all the points they needed. And they were good. And the beauty of that is that they don't have to worry about trying to work on projects when they're doing finals for other classes. They can just worry about studying for those tests in those other classes. The tricky thing about 259 is that it requires a lot of your time early in the semester to figure out your processes. And then you sort of figure out a rhythm, and it kind of just keeps going along like that. So the amount of work you're doing early is high, and then as you get better at things, it sort of plateaus and comes down to a manageable level. While your other courses, probably the amount of work required at the beginning is low, and then it spikes at the midterm, and then it spikes 3/4 through, and then you're fine.